Out there, YouTube. What's going on, everyone? It is D down here. I am the average gaming dad, and we are back on Colorado Rockies franchise rebuild. It's been a minute, and as the title indicates, I don't really know what else to say except for the war rages on. We've been a competitive team these last two seasons. We were just shy of a wild card 2 years ago. We got to the wild card and then lost last year. And now we are 1 month in to the 2026 season. We're currently second, but it's so early on. Don't really know what to say. Take a quick look at where we're at, and then we will hop into our first of two games. All right. So lineup wise, we're looking pretty good. Top of the lineup, still hitting the ball pretty well. No huge standouts. I mean, our worst batter is Melendez. He just has continued to be okay, which for a catcher, you don't really expect a ton of offensive output. He took a step last year, hitting 284 with 20 home runs, but off to a slow start this year. Veen, I mean, it was a limited sample size when we brought him up at the end of last season, but he crushed it. 390 with a 695 OPS, pretty outstanding. But so far in about the same at bats, only 10 more at bats, averages over 100 points less and slugging 200 points less. So I don't know. I don't know. On the bench, we got Toglia, we got Romo, who, they're bench bats. Rogers is currently injured, but was kind of slumping a little bit. And then Jorge Soler, okay, hitting 250, only 3 home runs so far. And he mainly is our lefty DH specialist. So there's our hitters. Our pitching is really good. We signed Zach Gallen to a $27 million contract over the next 5 years. He's pitching well, but getting a little outperformed by Jordan Montgomery and Casey Mize. Dollander, his sophomore season is off to an okay start. And then Michael Waka, who we signed as a veteran, just reliable arm that maybe we'll mix in with Clevenger and Senzatella, are all performing okay. Middle relief looks solid. And then the back end is okay, except for Larkin. He had one really bad inning, unfortunately, that elevated his ERA, but it's still early on. And I expect him to perform well. He performed really well last year. All right, so there is the introduction. And I just want to say this has by far been my most popular series. We're getting over 100 views per episode, which is fantastic for a channel of my size. I really appreciate it. If you think that other people might like this content, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe. That way it gets pushed out to more people. And, I know we're on MLB 23, the show. I just could not afford MLB The Show 24 when it first came out. And so we're on MLB The Show 23 this late into the cycle. I'm not going to go out and buy the new one when 25 comes out, in a few months. But look forward to that. I will be buying the new one when it comes out. And, looking forward to doing a new rebuild on a new game. So just want to put that out there. If you're enjoying it, show some support. It would mean a lot. If not, that's okay. I just still appreciate your time. All right. Intros out of the way. We always play one interdivision, one out of division game. I think it's time we take on the big bad Dodgers, so that will be our interdivision game. And then who do we want to play? Who do we want to play? Maybe the Cubs. They're pretty good. That 22-10. Cleveland is 20-12. So we definitely have a tough schedule ahead. Atlanta 24-8. This is going to be a really tough month to get a lot of wins. So we're going to have to buckle down, play well. We'll see how it go. I think I'm targeting the Cubs since we're playing LA away. I always like to try and get one home and one away series. So let's go with that. We're going to play a full game versus the Dodgers. We'll play a full game versus the Cubs. And hopefully we will, continue to be up in the top of the division. With that, let's go ahead and start the simulation to get to the Dodgers series. Playing at home versus St. Louis, they're 15-16. I think we should be doing okay against them. We start off game 1 win, game 2 win. Brendan Rodgers is back. Let's put him on the bench. Make our edits to the lineup, and then we have some scouting to do. All right, so Brendan Rodgers is back. He is not performing particularly well, only hitting 232. McMahon is slumping a little bit. They're basically the same. So what I think I will do is we will keep. Who do we got versus lefties? Who's playing second versus lefties? It's McMahon. He's pretty weak versus lefties. So I think this is where we're going to put Brendan Rodgers in. We'll miss a little bit of defense, but we'll have a much better bat against lefties. Garcia will stay in as well. So Garcia getting full-time duties versus lefties and righties. And hopefully just kind of min-maxing our players' ratings versus how they're performing, and we'll see how we do. Verdugo is hot. But he's just not great versus lefties. We'll keep it as is, see how we roll. And with that, let's look at our scouting. We were looking at catcher Salvador Rosales. We have a ton of depth. I was looking at the top prospect list, and I guess I can show it here. I was kind of surprised to see that we don't actually have many top prospects. We have Sean Guerrero for the second year in a row as the number one prospect in all of Major League Baseball, currently performing very poorly in Double-A. This is his second season in the minors, and he's off to a tough start. He's actually already regressing, so hopefully he's able to figure it out and get back on track, and we don't waste a year of growth with him. And then we have Martin Ortiz, who we just drafted, 18-year-old. He's already in AAA, and he is raking. Hitting 260, has a 677 OPS. I mean, it's not elite, but for an 18-year-old coming into his own in AAA, I'm pretty happy with that. And then outside of that, it's a long way down before we find our next prospect, way down here at 38, Peter Manuel, a reliever. And I think that's it. So only three, only three players in the top 50, which I'm kind of surprised about. But if you actually look at the roster, we are loaded with high potential players. So really, we're just looking for best available. We're not really necessarily targeting any specific players. But Rosales fell about 30 places, so we will go ahead and skip doing a second week on him. And let's look towards a different position player. We are picking at 22, so we're not looking at any crazy top prospects. Ivan Espinoza looks like an interesting guy. I'm not sure why he's ranked so low. Maybe his overall is really low, but we'll give him a little look-see. Let's see. We're doing well scouting pitchers. If we go to starting pitchers, we're at 50 to 70, 30%. So I think it's time to probably move to... What's up, Andrew Banks? Thanks for joining. I appreciate it, sir. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. So what area do we still need to scout for starting pitchers? Who's still low on here? Georgia, so maybe Central. East is pretty low. Another East. Another East. Another East. All right, let's go over to the East, scout for a week or two. No one in the infield in the West, so let's edit that. Let's take a gander into the Central region, I guess. See if we can find some new prospects. And that'll be that. All right, so back to semi. We're getting to this LA series. Game 3 versus St. Louis is a win. So we end up sweeping St. Louis. That's good because the rest of these series are going to be tough. On to the Marlins and Juan Soto, who's with the Marlins now. We do lose 1-4. Let's see, we got a AAA injury. He's just out for a few days. We'll keep him active. And we only went 1 of 3 versus Miami. Some pretty close competitive games, so, we'll take that silver lining. All right, with the Dodgers, we can pitch with Casey Mize, Dollander, Michael Wacha, or Gallen. Let's see, I think we have yet to pitch with Dollander. He's off to a little bit of a rough start this year. So let's hop in. We'll pitch a game. We'll play a game with him and try and get him back on track. We do lose game 1. Let's see if we can right the ship. Playing in LA, which at least in the game is not on fire. Feel bad for all the people out in California dealing with those wildfires. Oh. If that is you, I wish you all the best of luck. Soto's 2-0. Hoppy pissing you off. Okay. How's your day going, Andrew Banks? All right. So facing off against Tony Gonsolin. Let's see, I believe we faced him in the wild card series at the end of last year, and he was pretty dominant. I'm not going to lie. We really struggled. Would love to get some revenge. All right, and we're off. Daza spits on the first pitch, a fastball away. Okay. All right, 2-1. Here we go. Right back up the middle. Oh, great diving play by the second baseman, but not able to glove it. He knocks it down, keeps it from going in the outfield. It's probably going to be a single either way, but it's good that we get a runner on right off the rip. Ooh. We beat the splitter in the ground, but the throw throws the runner off the bag. So what should have been a double play is scored an error. The designated hitter, and now we have 2 on. We got Nolan Jones, who's having a pretty good season. And we're getting some very hittable pitches so far from Gonsolin. A lot of fastballs, a lot of them away, middle of the plate. We just need to make them pay. That one's not going to land. So Nolan Jones pops out, looking to elevate a high fastball. Probably should have let that one go. But McMahon, ton of power versus righties. We're going to be looking for something in the heart of the plate. Hopefully we crush it. Ooh. That was what we were looking for. But we're pretty early on it and end up pulling foul. All right. So the check swing, we actually didn't go around, but it ended up being called a strike anyway. And that one is going to get ripped out into right. It's a liner. I think the bases are going to stay loaded. No, the third base coach sends Jonathan Daza home, and he is thrown out. Unfortunate. So a little bit of a miscue from our coaching staff there, sending the runner. I don't mind the aggressive base running, but not going to have to worry about it there. Luis Garcia hits a rocket out into right center. Just now fielded at the wall. 1 run scores. 2 runners score, finally. And Luis Garcia puts us in the lead with a 2-run double here in the first. Maybe a little 2-out rally going here. Verdugo, very dominant versus righties, would be a good one to keep this one going. Having a pretty good year so far. We have a lot of guys that we've kind of been using as either righty or lefty specialists. Verdugo is one of them. High contact, decent power versus righties. Ooh, way out in front of the splitter. And that one is also going to find some outfield. Verdugo's going to be on first. No, he's going to second after the throw Goes directly to home plate. And now we are off to a 3-0 lead with 2 outs. I said Gonsolin has given us plenty to hit. And that one fielded by a shortstop, a jump throw falling away. That's just a really, really tough throw to make. And I don't want to say we're getting lucky. We're getting a little lucky. I mean, we've already seen there should have been one double play fielded against us. Ended up being ruled an error. That would have been a pretty good pitch to swing at. The count is still just even 1-1. There we get another one. Melendez delivers. He drives in a run. So playing a little bit of small ball. A lot of singles, a lot of doubles. And, I mean, Gonsolin is just giving it to us right down the middle. Not really making it difficult for this Rockies offense. All right, Veen goes for the splitter, ends up skying it out into left. That one is finally fielded for the 3rd out. But we strike first and we strike hard. 6 hits and 4 runs in the first inning. A lot of those with 2 outs.
For the Dodgers, the shortstop, Gavin Lux.
So let's see what the sophomore starting pitcher, Chase Dollander, can do. Tough call to start.
Nope, inside, ball 2. Ball 3.
Okay. So we've thrown 2 strikes. Arguably 3. That second pitch did clip the zone. We have a 3-0 count. We might just have to settle for a walk, because I don't want to throw anything over the heart of the plate. Check swing. They call it. And we do find ourselves in a full count after 3 straight balls. We'll give him a slide piece, and he swings and misses. A little bit of ball don't lie moment there. Start off with a 3-0 on arguably 3 strikes.
Nope.
And then come back for the punchy.
1 ball, 1 strike.
You'll love to see it. Chase Dollander. Pitch count's probably going to be a little high
2 strikes.
after this inning. But no base runners allowed after the first 2. 2 strikeouts to his name. Now facing off against Mookie Betts. Going all off speed to start. 3 curveballs in a row.
Ball.
Then change up low. Mookie, obviously a really talented batter. He's going to pop this one up in the center. Veen closing in. And that is 3 up and 3 down for Dollander. Basically, the yin and yang of innings. Ours very successful. The Dodgers, not very. Now, Gonsolin's a great pitcher. He's already at 25 pitches. So we'll see if maybe he has better stuff here in the second. And maybe we don't get as lucky. Remember, in inning 1, in the first inning, we got really lucky. What should have been a double play ended up being an error and got us 2 base runners with no outs, as opposed to no base runners with 2 outs.
Ball, that's down. ball, 2 strikes.
Tough swing there. Really late. Indecisive. And a pitch way too high. Got a swing protect on that one. It ends up going down. Again, just indecisive at bat for Romeo Ivy. Can't pull the trigger early enough on those high fastballs. Wow, that was a quick inning. So despite all the success in the first, no success here in the second. We're absolutely shut down. Now facing off against Cody Bellinger. Really working the inside part of the plate with the fastball. And then sat down looking with the slide piece.
Batting fifth, the first baseman, Anthony Santander.
That is a great sequence to start.
0-1. 0-2.
Maybe Dollinger's starting to heat up a little bit.
3.
That's another strikeout. So far has faced 5 batters, has 4 strikeouts on his line. You gotta like that. Looking very much like the top prospect that we brought up. James Outman gets hold of this one, but it is a lazy fly out into the middle of center. Zach Veen is under it. And so a quiet second inning for both teams. Okay. Another inning against Gonsolin. We've had massive success and literally no success. So not sure what to expect here in the third. I mean, that's a rocket out in the center. 101 off the bat, but not quite hard enough. Caught on the warning track just short of the wall. But McMahon gave that a really good ride. And we are really eager on those high fastballs. We need to see those a little bit better. That time, a fastball a little lower in the zone, but still another fly out. This is what we saw in the wild card game versus Gonsolin. A lot of solid contact, but not a lot of baseballs landing in grass. Looks like our lineup is really looking to elevate these high fastballs, and we're getting them consistently. To be fair, either of those could be called a strike. So it's not like we're necessarily swinging at bad pitches. That one was bad, though. We go down looking, thought that one was going to be lower, and if memory serves me correct, I feel like that happened a lot in the wild card game.
Leading up for the Dodgers, the third baseman, Brian.
That low fastball looked a lot like it was going to be a lot lower. And we sat on it a few times and got struck out looking.
Inside ball.
Okay. Umpire not being especially forgiving right now. I'd say we're pitching a pretty good game in terms of location. We're just not getting the calls. And that's baseball just sometimes.
Full count.
All right, looks like the high inside fastball is what's going to do it. It's going to fly out to left. Perfectly located by Dollander. And Aledmus Diaz, former A's legend. Interesting. Had a pretty good season last year. Look at him go. Not quite as proficient versus righties and not very good so far this year. Barely hitting over 200.
Nope. That's inside.
Let's see if we can put him down with this changeup. Ooh.
That ball's foul. That's a ball.
Working a pretty good at bat here. Got to give credit where credit is due.
The count's full.
And he's working to a full count. We'll offer him a fastball, see what he does with it. All right. So pretty good at bat for Diaz. He held in there for a long time.
Nope. Ball one.
I mean, how unlucky can we get with these calls? Dollander's pitching so well and just not getting rewarded for it. Luckily, when the Dodgers have made solid contact, it hasn't really gone that far. So we've gotten a little lucky. And now we just got to see if we can get back at Gonsolin. He's had two back-to-back great innings against us.
Ball. That's outside.
Oh, man, that one's a perfect. Only 99 off the bat. So, just not quite deep enough. Dies at the warning track. I think that's the second perfect we've hit to dead center. And just haven't got it out. Looks like there's some wind. Yeah, there's 7-mile-an-hour winds straight at us coming out of center. So,
One ball. Two strikes.
no real surprise that we're struggling to barrel the baseball out of here. Ooh, check swing. They say you went around. You did not. That's unfortunate.
Ball. That's off the plate.
So we did check our swing, but unfortunately called for a strike anyway. Let's see if we can get a 2-out rally. We scored multiple runs in the first with 2 outs. Not going to do it here. Bean's going to fly out to left. That's another really good inning for Gonsolin. And right now, Dollander has actually pitched a perfect game.
That's inside.
We had no walks, no base runners.
Aye. 1-1.
And if some of these pitches that were called balls that were very obviously strikes got called the other way, like we could easily be looking at 7 strikeouts so far, 8 strikeouts,
Ball. That's in.
and a pitch count that would probably be in the low 30s. But you're not going to get every call in baseball. We know this.
Nope. Outside.
but we definitely like what we've seen so far.
Count full.
Like that. That should be a strikeout. Easily a strikeout. Instead, we have another full count. This umpire is an idiot.
Foul ball.
Trying to put away Vargas here with the fastball low. I mean, we just don't get the call. What are you going to do? So the perfect game is gone. The umpire sucks. There's just nothing you can do about it.
Inside, ball one.
The baseball gods are cruel. Give me robot umps any day.
Out.
And if you're watching this, also can we just take a moment to recognize phenomenal play by Gold Glove winning Ryan McMahon. Diving play. Didn't really have a chance at the double, but we get Mookie at first. Keep some speed off the base paths. But let me know in the comment section, if you are watching, do you support robot umps or not? I am pro robot ump because to me, the failure or success of a batter should not be determined on how good or bad an umpire is. Right? Because it feels sometimes like it's really luck-based. And we know there are certain umpires that are just absolute dog shit. Right? So, if one of the things that you are trained to do as a hitter is to determine whether you are getting pitched a ball or a strike, which determines if you're going to swing, it completely negates how good you are at that skill if you have a bad umpire behind the plate.
Ball one, no strike.
So because of that, I am very pro robot umpire.
Now batting, the first baseman, Romeo Ivy.
Like at this point, oftentimes if an umpire, say, gets 90 plus, like 95+% of the calls right, we're like, oh my God, that's amazing, when really that should be the norm.
The batter, the designated.
And that's another
Nolan
just
Jones.
hit dead center that just gets destroyed by the 7-mile-an-hour wind. We could have had probably 3 home runs so far, but this wind has just been absolutely brutal. To be fair, probably helped us as well. We've had some swings that got some really solid contact, but died short of the warning track. Ooh, that was a really good splitter. Jones is way out in front. But anyway, I digress. But I would love to know
All one's the count.
general consensus of the MLB show community. What do you think? All right, back to the task at hand, beating our rival LA Dodgers.
Got him.
We're here in the bottom of the 5th. We had a sensational first start,
Ryan
or first inning start, going up 4-0 over the Dodgers. Dollander has pitched an insanely good game, but unfortunately, due to some unfortunate calls. We end up walking a batter. He gets driven
The
in.
batter.
But both teams have had, we have only had one inning of success. The Dodgers have only had one inning of success.
Counts 1-0.
And here we are, the bottom of the fifth, 4-1 ball game.
Nope, that's a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Dollander still slinging it. Some more good defense from McMahon.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching
All right, and now we're going to face
number 48, Herman Marquez.
former Colorado Rocky Herman Marquez. He was traded away, shockingly, to an interdivision rival, but he ended up not having a great season. And he's doing okay, though, with the Dodgers here. 3.89 ERA, a whip just over 1. Strikeout rate's pretty good. So not a bad year for him so far.
That's a ball. Ball 2.
Kind of interesting that they ended up pulling their starter.
Ball, that's
Felt
over
like
there.
he still probably had some gas. We weren't, outside of that first inning, we weren't performing particularly well against him. But I guess that was a good sinker. That looked like it was a high fastball and it just died in the zone.
Garcia.
Just really thought that they would have him in longer, but instead it's Marquez. He gets a strikeout and a flyout. So maybe it was the right move.
Ball 1.
Get the slider, and Verdugo hits it sharply into the ground, but hard enough
Now batting.
that it gets past the pitcher,
Ezekiel
finds some grass in the outfield, and we got our chance to get a little 2-out rally going. Wow. I don't know what it is, but these low fastballs have really been getting us. They just look like they're below the zone, and then they just catch it. Gets us looking quite frequently. Dollar coming in at 69 pitches. Nice. Number 70 right there goes for a strike.
Ball. Down.
And ahead in the count, let's see what we can do with a high inside fastball. Misses just a bit. All right.
Foul ball.
Dalton rushing. See what he can do with the curveball. Soft contact. Luis Garcia is there.
Got him.
And an easy out at first. Gavin Lux up next. 0 for 2 on the day.
Nope.
You suck! This umpire is just giving us fits. Pitch number 80. What in the world? Where did that hit? I am so confused. Oh, it just never hit. Okay. Got it. I thought it had like bounced off the ground like right here or something. Okay. That makes more sense. Just a weird angle. All right, Gavin Lux holding on. Found some stuff off. Still ahead in the count. So we do have a little bit of wiggle room. Check swing. Got him.
Up next for the Dodgers.
Dollander's been great. I'm pretty sure he's going to be really close to double-digit strikeouts for this game. If I had to take a stab, I'd say he's probably at like 8 right now. I mean, he's been excellent at holding this talented Dodgers lineup to just one hit and one run. Through 6. Would like to add on to this lead a little bit. We've been stuck at 4 since the first inning. But we're just not really elevating a lot of balls. When we do, they often get caught in that wind that's heading directly at us from center field. But Veen may have gotten hold of one. Pretty high, pretty deep. Not fielded, and over the wall and right. An automatic double for the young Veen. Pulling that fastball down the third base line. Got one on and a runner in scoring position. Good opportunity to do some damage. But not deep enough to send the runner there. See, that low fastball, it looks just like the low fastballs that are in the strike zone, so I don't know. Getting bamboozled a little bit. Very early on the slider, okay. That slider way up and out. Counts even at 2-2. See if we can get something we can hit. A walk wouldn't be the worst thing. I mean, that's just a perfect knuckle curve. You don't really know if that's going to land in the bottom of the zone, 8 inches under the zone.
The right fielder, Mookie.
It's a good pitch. Dollander's going to stay in for the 7th. He's at 85 pitches right now.
Nope, that's off the plate. Ball 2.
But it'll probably be a pretty short leash.
Ball 3.
I mean,
I got 3 and
we will go ahead and get a lefty and righty up. Start looking at our options. Good eye for Mookie Betts. Doesn't fall for the changeup. And now we got Cody Bellinger. And that one's going to fall. All right, so 2 on, no outs. Neither of our bullpen's arms are ready. Santander, equally good against righties, lefties. So we're going to leave Dollander in. We're going to trust him for at least another batter or 2. definitely would have been a good one for Santander. He elects to not pull the trigger. And I think he's going to go down on a strikeout. He does. He gets the punchy. So Santander goes down. And we're a double play away from getting out of trouble. But I don't know if that is going to go to Dollander. I think it's time. We're going to go to the pen. We're going to bring in Larkin and look to work out of this jam.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for Colorado, number 53.
Get that sweet lefty-lefty matchup.
Larkin.
His ERA is kind of high this year, but it's also, only 5 innings worth of work, so pretty small sample size. Oh, what the hell? Veen just totally misplays that one. I don't know what the hell that was. So he's charging right at it, and then look where he puts his glove, and it just bounces right behind him. I don't know what kind of animation that was, but that one is not Gene Larkin's fault. And the Dodgers close within 1. There's out number 2. Does advance the runner. Now Aledmus Diaz, who's actually pretty good against lefties. He's going to take a swing at the first pitch. It's a ground out, but the Dodgers get closer. Really tough. I think 2 of those are going to fall on Dollander's line. Probably not really deserved. Big misplay. I mean, there was definitely some strikes that weren't called, and then a big misplay in center by Veen. And now we got to really do our best to extend this score. Jones, I mean, that looked like it was a surefire double, but it just kind of lost speed, wasn't able to get to the wall. And now Jones is on with a single. So leadoff man on. Slim 1-run lead here late in the game, top of the 8th. You got to think that Marquez, facing against the team that traded him, has maybe a little something to prove here. I would love for McMahon's vision to be higher than 40. Counts even 2-2. Putting together a decent at bat here.
We got a full count.
He goes down the low fastball. Feel like we timed that one up pretty good. Pretty close to good timing, but that low vision rating really shrinks the timing of your swings, especially when we're doing strictly timing-based hitting. Good timing on that high fastball. Let's pop up. Now we really need something out of Verdugo. All over that fastball. And I mean, we are crushing these fastballs. But we are pulling them. And then we just beat that into the ground. I mean, what are you going to do? We're a fraction of a second off from
Leading off for
multiple
the
home
Dodgers,
runs there.
the catcher, Galton Rushing.
All right, so we're going to leave Larkin in
Ball one.
versus the lefty.
1-0. One ball, two strikes.
Try and get him on the slider away. We got him. All right. So we have another lefty in Gavin Lux, and then two righties. So we'll probably let Larkin have this one. And then we'll switch over
0-1's the count.
to our righty and get the closer warmed up. All right. Thankfully, Veen plays that one better. Doesn't let that one get bashed.
The second
All right.
baseman,
Now we're going to switch to Calderon.
Vargas.
Having a pretty good year. Started off really bad. Started off with an infinite ERA and whip. The first two batters he faced, no, it was ground rule double, home run, ground rule double, and I think another ground rule double. Those were his first four bats of the year. Garcia with an incredible defensive effort. Throwing off of the ground, diving effort to make the catch. You love to see it.
Now pitching for the Dodgers, number 52, Alex
All right.
Vesia.
All right. And now we're going to go to Strom, the closer. He has been elite. Was in the running for reliever of the year last year.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And we'll see what he can do. We have a really tough schedule this month. We're facing a lot of really good teams. And so we need every single win that we can get. Tovar playing a pretty patient game. Works a full count here. Oh, and now it's a liner out to left. It's pretty high, pretty deep, and not caught. Bounces over the wall for a ground rule double.
MJ Melendez.
Love to see it.
Off the plate, ball 1.
Opening runner on with a double. Definitely very happy with that.
2 balls, no strikes.
And Vesia not really showing much here. Missing way off on his first two. Gets a 50-50 call. At least it's been 50-50 for us all day. More like 75-25 ball. Ooh, please land fair. Please land fair. Nope. And then way out in front of the slider. Too early. Yep, knew that as soon as we swung through it. Zach Fiend made a horrible error in the outfield, completely misplaying a fly ball earlier that led to 2-run scoring. Would like to see him make up for it here offensively. And he's pretty close. Just late on that one, but behind in the count. That slider is pretty close. Swinging to protect. And that slider gets really... God, another fastball low in the zone that we sit on, thinking it's going to be just a bit lower. It just catches the bottom of the zone. And there's our second out. So our leadoff runner still standing on second with 2 outs now.
Ball. That's ball 2.
We know Jonathan Da's a real high contact guy. I mean, you get a gift down the middle. Pops it up. All right, and it's going to come down to our closer.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for the Rockies.
Matt Strom
25.
picking up pretty much right where he left off.
Ball 1.
My God, Blue. Killing me.
I got a ball, 1 strike.
Man, Garcia looking real good at third. He's made 2 amazing plays. And keeps Mookie Betts off of first. Now we got the lefty-lefty versus Bellinger. Oh, and we finally get a gift of a call. Those have been eluding us all night long. Just catches the bottom of the zone. We finally get the call there. And now we just got to eliminate Santander. 0 for 3 on the day. You could say he's due, or you could say today's just not his day. We're hoping it's the latter. It's popped up. Ivy under it. That's game. Love to see it. Really close win against a division rival that we're battling for first place. As the title says, the war rages on. All right, we are 1 hour into this stream or this video if you're watching after it is live. If you've made it this far and you're enjoying the content, if you want to do me a favor, leave a like. If you're new and you're enjoying it, maybe consider subscribing. It's free, and then you can watch me live and catch all of my videos. All right, now that my shameless like and subscribe plug has been done, let's move on. So player of the game goes to Chase Dollander. I still maintain he was absolutely robbed on a number of calls. Had perfect game going into the fourth. He pitched like 3 strikes that were called balls. Ended up giving up a walk. But 6 1/3 pitched, only allowing 2 hits, 2 walks, and 3 earned runs. 8 strikeouts on his line. That's pretty solid. Batting, no one really stood out. Just a number of 1 for 4s, 2 for Verdugo, 2 for Tovar. We probably would have had, I think, 2 for sure, maybe 3, maybe 4 home runs. But we had some brutal wind coming from dead center field, and there was a couple swings that we had absolutely barreled the baseball to dead center and just didn't go far enough. All right, so this 4-game series versus the Dodgers in LA evens our records at 23-16, evens the series at 1-1. We are now going to go on and face the Cubbies, who are looking really good at 28-12. We take game 3 in this series versus the Dodgers. Let's take a moment to check out our scouting. We did discover 2 new infield prospects. Espinoza does not look like a great catcher to continue scouting. So let's see what those infielders were. We found a second baseman, Patrick Brown. Really good defensively, not so good potential, not so good offensively. And then a shortstop, Kenny Fortune. Good defensively, not good potential, not good offensively. So we will pass. All right. Let's also take a look at the pitchers that we scouted. We're at 20, 30, 40%. So, and if we look at all, we have some closers. We got some relievers up here. Okay. I mean, we have some scouting on pretty much every starting pitcher. So let's go over to, we're going to go to relief pitchers. Start looking there now that we're about halfway through the scouting process. And we have looked at this catcher class looked really good to start. And none of them have looked particularly promising. Let's see, we're at 22. So these top guys we're really not that concerned about, you know. But Jared Macbeth looks like an interesting prospect. Definitely a good bat, maybe not as reliable defensively. The problem is we already have Romeo Ivy, who is, I think, 19, 20 years old and playing well so far. Trying to find maybe another infielder. Let's take a look at Christian Caraballo out of New York. Still have yet to really find a really convincing first round pick for us. All right. And let's switch from starter to relief pitcher so we get some extra oomph on that. All right, so there's that. All right. All right, so we split the series versus the Dodgers. That's so weird. Here we had the exact same record. We beat them twice. They only beat us once, but somehow their record is better than ours. I am confusion. I don't know how that works. All right. Now again, the road for the rest of this month is really tough. We face Atlanta, who's 26-14. We face the Phillies, who are even. Cleveland's 25-16, and then the Cubbies are 29-12. So tough road ahead, but let's go ahead and sim to this Cubs series. We actually sweep Atlanta. 3-2, 4-1, 6-4. That's fantastic. On to our home series versus Philadelphia. And the Brewers are interested in a trade. They want to give us a 23-year-old C potential catcher, Jefferson Caro. Very good defensively. Has a long way to go with his bat. And in exchange, they want starting pitcher Ricky Dudley, a 25-year-old with B potential, same overalls, He's pitching really well. I mean, we already have a young defensive leaning catcher in Drew Romo. I don't know why we would make this trade. So I'm inclined to pass unless they have someone else that looks especially enticing. I mean, I would give my left nut to get Sal Frelick. He had a disgustingly good year last year. But I don't see them parting ways with him. So I'm going to have to decline this trade. Appreciate the offer. All right, we got some minor league injuries. Juan Hernandez down in Double A. He's going to be out for over 6 months. The real question is, who is Juan Hernandez? Looks like he was a center fielder. All right, so it looks like now it's going to go to young Octavio Pike. A potential, but only 56 overall. Not really good at anything. um, he can't hit the ball. He can't really play really good defense. He's not even particularly fast. We're gonna throw him in. Hopefully he does well. He'll be near the bottom of the lineup there. That's tough. Do we have another outfielder we can throw out there? That seems almost cruel. Not really. Got Valito. He's at least he's marginally better, but those contact skills are horrendous. Pike's in. Juan Hernandez is the guy who was just injured. So the only other option are other 50 plus overall guys. Not ideal. So Double A squad struggling a little bit. All right. So we resolved that. Let's go back to scouting here. Christian Carabello. Not bad. Defensively, maybe you'd like to see a little bit more, but he's pretty fast. He's got decent contact and on-base skills. So right now he's probably our leading contender for first-round pick until we find any pitchers that look better, which I'm sure there are. All right, we did discover an infielder, Hank Ferreira, from my home state of Missouri. He looks awesome. Great contact skills, decent power, good on-base skills, as well as some decent-ish defense. Remember, I mean, when you're on first, really it's just reaction time and fielding, right? You don't need an arm to throw anywhere. You don't need to be fast. You just need to be able to hit and catch the ball. And he looks like he can do that. So we're going to switch gears with Christian Carabello. Hank Ferrero is in. Let's take a look at the relief pitchers. We're about 20% for most of these guys, so we'll do another week there. We'll leave our scouting prospect or our discovery guy infield in the central region. Hopefully he finds another gem. Keep in mind, our best prospect, our borderline generational prospect that we drafted last year, he was a discovered prospect. So it's always worth it to at least try. All right, so scouting's done. We're still getting closer to this Cubs series. They continue to win 32-13. Tough road ahead versus Cleveland. Let's get through that series. All right, we only win 1 of 3 versus Cleveland. I mean, given the strength, the difficulty of the schedule, I'm okay with where we're at. Obviously, always want to win more, but we swept a really good Atlanta Braves team. We've currently won 3 of 4 versus St. Louis. We split a series with the Dodgers. We swept this St. Louis the first time. Back-to-back sweeps in 1 month would be pretty great. All right. And Hank Ferreira, he actually is the real deal. Great contact skills right off the bat. On base power, if we get closer to that 60 mark, that would be great. And he could play catcher, which is a position of need as MJ Melendez is not really producing. I think we're going to give it one more week with Ferreira just to see where that potential lands. We did not discover any new prospects, so let's go to the outfield. We'll look internationally. Relief pitchers, we're at 35-ish, 70%, 50%. So let's go to the East, it looks like. East and Central, a lot of East and Central. Wait, what? Oh, I was looking at all. Okay, relief. Here we go. So East, Central, Central, East. All right, so let's go to the East. There we go. We're looking in the outfield. We're scouting Ferreira. I like it. All right, final game versus St. Louis. Can we get a 4-game sweep? Yes, we can. So a 4-game sweep versus St. Louis. We swept them twice in 1 month. That puts us back on track. I like where we're at. We're currently still second in the division, half game out of first. The war rages on. Title of the video. You see I'm tying it in. I'm weaving it together. It all makes sense if you don't think about it. All right. Let's see how we're doing statistically. Pitching, Zach Gallen is disgusting. A 2.64 ERA and a 1.04 whip. Would like that win-loss to be a little bit better. Would like him to not be regressing overall-wise, but still really good. Montgomery, looking solid. Mize, he was in a sub-3 ERA, now up close to a 4 ERA. Dollander, he's actually getting better. And Michael Wacha still struggling a little bit. I think we're going to make a move here. We're going to switch out Michael Wacha for Senzatella. He's 5-2. He's pitching good again. Not really progressing, but still pitching well. Middle relief is looking elite. Like really elite. Holy cow. We got Lucas Sims pitching a 0 ERA through 15 innings. And then Calderon looking great. Larkin, okay. I still trust the kid. And then Matt Strom shutting the door, but regressing heavily. We might not renew him after this year. Okay. Lineup. Any adjustments that need to be made? Nolan Jones looking like shit. You hate to see it. We're going to make the switch to Soler. McMahon's looking solid. Garcia, Verdugo, Tovar. Melendez is starting to heat up a little bit. And Zach Veen progressing. All in all, looking good. Lefty lineup. We still got Nolan Jones in right. He can't hit shit. He's going on the trade block. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of it. Verdugo is hitting well enough. So Verdugo is in for Jones. Let's swap him and Tovar and Veen. Yeah. All right. Looking good. Like where we're at. And I've had enough of this. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. Nolan Jones regresses every year. He continues to regress. He's now, I think, below his actual potential rating. He's going on the trade block. Who else do we want to put on the trade block? Who's sucking? Walkett's not great. I mean, we only have him on a 3-year deal. Clevenger's okay. Do we have some guys in AAA that we trust to maybe bring up? Maybe Percy Curry. Maybe no, not Ricky Dudley. He would get shelled. But Curry, he's kind of got it a little bit. He's pretty even across the board. He could probably eat some innings at long relief if need be. Our relievers are progressing along. Okay. And then our closers. R.I.P. Justin Lawrence. He was so good for a while. Okay. Sean Guerrero's still struggling. Wow, all of our catchers are struggling. Anyone else that we feel like putting on the block? Pretty happy with most of our guys. I guess we could put Datres on the block. I don't think we're going to get anything out of him. But he's old and does not perform well, so keep that in mind. We got Datres, Alan Trejo. Phil McGowan, 60 overall, B31. All right, so not anything crazy, but we said Trejo, we said Datres, and we said Phil McGowan. All right. So really the only big player is Nolan Jones. He's been really disappointing. He had one good year and I'm tired of it. He's young and he's just continually regressing every year. So we're gonna cut ties. We're gonna look to see if we can turn him for something else. I don't know if we want a prospect. I don't know if we need a starter. I'm not sure. We might look for someone that's, I guess I should put what we need. So we're definitely going to need an outfielder to replace him. Our relief and starting pitching is really solid. I'm okay with putting catcher, and then maybe like if we get like a third base prospect, I'd be okay with that. All right, so we'll roll with that. Impromptu setting our trade block. But now, who are we going to pitch with? We got Senzatella, Gallen, and Montgomery. We just brought up Senzatella from the long relief role to a starter, so let's play with him. Pause. That sounded weird. Let's pitch. Let's play a game that has Senzatella as a starting pitcher. I think that's the best way to phrase that. We're not playing with Senzatella. All right. Tovar is a tired little boy, so he is going to get sat. Brendan Rodgers is going to come in at short. Everyone else is looking solid. We're facing off against right-handed pitcher Ben Brown, who somehow has a winning record with like a 4-point-something ERA. I'm going to take a quick pause. I got to feed my dog. It'll take me about all of 13 seconds. So I'll be right back. All right, we're back. As promised, quickly. Now, Senzatella, we know the drill. Pitch the contact guy. We're going to try and live mostly in the bottom of the zone. We're throwing sinkers. We're throwing fastballs. We're throwing the whole arsenal. But we're trying to live in the bottom of the zone and get weak contact.
That's a ball.
Where occasionally we'll mix it up with a high fastball here and there.
Ball.
There we go. Get a strikeout there. It's good looking slider.
Heck one. No balls. One strike.
The young PCA having a good year at the plate.
No balls. Two strikes.
And that will continue. All right. Luckily, we legged that one down quickly because PCA is very fast.
0-1. Oh and 2.
Oh my God. Yoshida swinging out of his shoes on that one.
Nope. Ball.
Yikes. Clear strike there. We don't get the call. Let's go with the changeup.
Ball.
Does not bite.
That's a ball.
Try and change the eye level
Count's full.
with the fastball up.
Take your baseball.
And then, I wouldn't have been surprised if that slider was called a strike. It caught the zone. Blue didn't like it though. So 2-on. And we do what Senzatella is not supposed to do,
Ball.
which is issue walks. Good range from Rogers. And a good throw falling off his back foot. So we allow 2 base runners. We leave them stranded. Not a bad outing. Kind of what you expect from Senzatella.
Leading off for the Rockies.
All right, and I have no idea who Ben Brown is. Looks like he is, in his 4th year at the majors. Maybe year 2, got sent back down. Not a ton of work, but doesn't look particularly great. Looks like someone we should be able to hit well.
That ball's foul. Ball.
That curveball fell in at 78 miles an hour.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good timing on a cutter in the center of the plate. And Jonathan Daza just swings right through it. Man, I love timing-based hitting.
You got it.
Oh,
Batting second.
what we do for the
First
realism.
baseman, Romeo Ivy.
Good timing on the curveball, beating into the ground. All right, Romeo Ivy putting together a really good rookie campaign, and that's going to continue here. Falls just inside the third base line, hits the wall. Not particularly fast, our first baseman, but he legs out a double there with 1 out. His 9th of the campaign. And now we see Jorge Soler
Yeehaw!
replacing Nolan Jones, who we just added to the trade block. Started off red hot this year and then just continued to putter, continues to regress. And that cutter is disgusting. Gets Soler out in front on 92, which feels really weird.
Ball. 1-0.
But 92 coming out real slow, I guess.
Ball. 2-0.
Oh, McMahon elevates a fastball. It's pretty high, pretty deep, and caught just shy of the warning track. So we leave a runner stranded. We get the leadoff double, and then don't do anything with it. Back up on the mound with Senzatella. 21 pitch first inning. Is not what you want to see.
Hey! No ball, 2 strikes.
If we're honest about it. I'll tell you, that slider, pretty nasty. I think he went. And the umpire agrees. Lamont Wade Jr. sat down. And whoever Jose Castro was, he punished that ball 445 feet out to right. With 57 power, he hit at 445. Great googly moogly.
Yeehaw!
All right. Every dog has his day, I guess. If you're familiar with that saying. Damn. That's just so far. 445 feet.
Yeehaw!
That's just crazy, man. I mean, more power to him. I guess if you got it, you grip it and rip it. You go for it, buddy. All right. Beautiful pitch by Senzatella on the black. We get the call. But damage done. Cubbies take a 1-run lead. I'd be curious to see who that batter is. All right. Luis Garcia taking a rip at that first pitch. Fastball dead center of the plate, a little low in the zone. And it's a line out. Verdugo, he also goes for the first pitch, but that one thrown wildly, almost to the dugout. That's an E4. Verdugo stays on first. So we get a little lucky there with the defensive miscue.
0-1.
And I mean, We're getting hittable pitches.
Batting eighth, the catcher.
That one timed up pretty well, I think. Good timing. Middle of the plate. Their guy just blasted for 445. And we fly out. Melendez comes back, though. He's also swinging at the first pitch. 3 batters have swung at the first pitch so far in this inning.
The center fielder.
It's working out okay. We got 2 on, 2 out. Young Zach Veen. Chance to be a hero here and tie this one up. And he does. It's a grounder back up to center. The throw comes straight home. Verdugo's across. Game tied 1-1. Love to see that out of the young budding star. Is what we're hoping for Veen.
That's the ball.
All right. Jonathan Daza. Count is even. 2 on, 2 out. Can we continue the hit train? We cannot. Daza is going to fly out to center. Outfielder doesn't have to move. And that is an unceremonious end to the second.
Leading off to the Cubs, the second baseman, Nico Horner.
High one.
All right, back on the mound with Senzatella. Last inning was great. We're actually seeing some decent strikeout rate from Senzatella, which is not his forte. But we've gotten some swing and miss, especially on the slider. Let's have some batters just seen some fastballs go by looking that Senzatella's just been able to dot. That's what we're going to go for here, high inside fastball. And it's a swing and miss. So Senzatella in the long relief role for the first couple months, performing well. So we give him an opportunity to come up as a starter, and he's doing great. PCA got on with a single last time. Ooh, swinging out of his shoes there. Let's see if we can dot another one. We love those high inside fastballs. Check swing. They say he went around. I'm not actually sure if he did.
Masataka Yoshida.
But we'll take the punchy.
Hey, ha. 0-2.
And right now, Senzatella looking kind of unhittable.
Ball.
See what he does here in a 1-2 count.
No, that missed. That's the ball.
Don't mind that pitch. Low outside changeup.
Hack.
And that's 3 batters and 3 strikeouts for Senzatella, having himself a day out on the mound. I know he gave up the 1 run in the first inning, but
Rockies, the first
other than that, he's been really good.
Ivy.
All right, and Ivy's going to have a 2-for-2 start to his day. First one was a double out into right field, and this one is single to center.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Jorge
Soler, though,
Soler.
went down swinging last time, way out in front of the cutter, and now way out in front of the 77-mile-an-hour curveball. Just clips that one. Still very early. And that one is going to likely result in a double play. It is. I mean, Soler not as proficient versus righties.
Ryan
Still has good power,
McMahon.
just not as good contact.
0-1.
He ends up grinding into a double play. And McMahon, like, our team just beats stuff into the ground. Very consistently. We just hit short choppers. Unfortunate.
No balls. 1 strike. No balls. 2 strikes.
And Patrick Wisdom check swing on the first 2 pitches.
Ball.
Goes for 2 strikes. And that's now 4 strikeouts
Designated hitter.
in a row for Senzatella. Don't want to say unbelievable, but definitely unlikely. And now 0-2 here. Another check swing. And that's another punchy. 5 in a row. What kind of voodoo magic has Senzatella got going up here? Kind of ironic. Just punching out. Oh, Rogers can't actually glove that one. Thought he had the range, but did not. And Lamont Wade breaks the strikeout streak. But pretty crazy that you could strike out that many batters and also give up a 450-foot home run. All right, Rogers has the range there. So the Cubs leave a runner stranded, still tied 1-1. And I got to think that we're going to get a Ben Brown. Like, he's given us plenty to hit. We've barreled some. We've just gotten a little unlucky at where they've landed. Only 29 pitches through 3 innings of work is kind of crazy. That one's not going to find grass. I think we're a little late on that. Just late on the high fastball. But looking for someone to make an impact. We've had a few base runners here and there, but just haven't been able to drive them in. Might be looking at a walk here. Given our struggles getting runners on consistently, I'm going to put up the stop sign for Verdugo. I want him to sit on the next 2 pitches. And we get 2 fastballs right down the heart of the plate. I mean, it's a very hittable ball. Not quite as good as the previous 2, but still center. And a pop-up. So, Brown looking really good on the bump. Not giving up too much. The only thing with Senzatella, despite how well he has pitched, is his pitch count. You know, already at 62 pitches with going to 5 1/3. He has pretty good stamina, so I think he can stay in. But definitely something that we're going to need to watch.
That's it.
Getting at these first couple batters pretty quickly, though.
That's the ball. 1-0. One and two.
It's like almost the downside of swing and miss. When you do get that swing and miss, it does run up your pitch count. That was pitch 69. Nice. That was pitch 70. Evens the count 2-2. And Nico Horner, he's battling. Let's try and mix in a curveball. Still fights it off. Finally get some weak contact. There's Rogers again. And we are on to the bottom of the fifth. Let's see if we can get some offense going. Kind of a slow game for both teams. We're way out in front of this guy, and I don't really understand. He's pitching mid-90s. So it's not like his velo's super low. Melendez gives this one a ride. No problem for the center fielder, though.
The center fielder, number 13, Zach V.
Just would love to see these good timing hits result in something better. That cutter is so brutal. Oh, great diving effort, but first baseman can't glove it cleanly. That's the second error of the game for the Cubs. And this might be our opportunity to get a lead. Really softly hit to second, so no opportunity for a double play.
Now batting, first baseman, Romeo.
It does get the runner over to second, so he is in scoring position.
One ball, no strike.
Ivy 2 for 2. With a double and a single. And he pops up. Oh. All right. Back up with Senzatella. Still doing really well. Just the one solo shot. Hasn't really allowed a ton of base runners. Hasn't given up a ton of hard contact. Does give up one there.
The right fielder, number 16, Patrick Wisdom.
Starting to miss a little bit over the heart of the plate. We're going to have to be wary.
0-2.
Nice. Assuming we can get this next out, that's probably going to be it for Senzatella.
No, that missed.
Would love for him to have an opportunity to get the win, but oh my gosh, Ian Happ goes down flailing, not going down swinging. That was a flail. So Senzatella does end on a good note. But we're going to get up Taylor and Sims. And looks like going lefties to play. We're going to schedule Taylor in. And Ben Brown, only 51 pitches. He's been the benefit of some luck. These balls are hitting the bat a fraction of an inch in a different spot. Could have very different results. And Soler just swing happy. And once again, just beating everything into the ground. Soler actually ends up legging that one out because the third baseman can't grab it.
Second baseman.
We've actually seen some pretty bad defense from the Cubs today. They have 2 errors. And then in an instance like that, where the third baseman's unable to glove it cleanly and can't make the throw in time. But we have a runner on with no outs. So an opportunity to finally get a lead. And McMahon tying deep on the right. And it's caught. Oh, I thought that one had a chance. I'm not going to lie. Just couldn't quite get to the wall. And not enough power to get over it.
That's the ball. Back. 1-1.
If I were Brown, I would throw nothing but that cutter. It is filthy. Ooh, filthy swing there from Garcia. What are you looking at, bud? Oh, we straightened that one out. That might have gone the distance. Gave that one a really good ride. That's just another one where, I mean, it's a fastball center of the plate. Good timing, 82 contact. And we just still don't get a hit out of it. That is so tough.
No ball. 2 strikes. That's a foul ball.
Verdugo swinging to protect, looking for something a little bit higher up in the zone, something we can elevate, maybe drive out of here.
No, that missed. That's the ball. Ball.
Finally making Brown actually work a little bit in an inning, though, which is nice. Oh, and then we go down on the curve. All right, it's on to the bullpen.
Now pitching for the Rockies. Number 6.
30-year-old rookie Alex Taylor coming in.
Back. 0-1. 0-2.
Look at that really cool looking, like, all-white glove. I don't think I've ever seen that before. But I like it a lot. Looks clean.
Yeah.
So does that punchy. Lamont Wade Jr.
Third baseman.
goes down looking.
Jose Castro.
Ball. Inside. Ball. Nope. Ball.
Okay.
3-0.
2 borderline claws. 1-1 ball game. We really can't afford a free base runner. So we're just going to pound some fastballs. Ooh. Finally give Castro something he can hit. Step on the base. Okay, he did step on the base. Oh my God, I almost had a heart attack. It didn't look, I'm not gonna lie, it did not look like he stepped on the base. All right, and then the throw. His foot is not on the bag. And it never is. You want to talk about a questionable call? That was definitely one. We're the beneficiaries.
0-2.
I don't know what the game was thinking, but I mean, I'll take it. I'm happy to take the out, but everyone is blind. It was clear as day his foot was not on the bag.
For the traditional 7th. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
All right, so we're going to face
Now,
Bailey
for the
Ober.
Cubs,
Another guy with not really an impressive, like super impressive ERA, 3.82 is pretty, like, it's good. But, I mean, he still gets us swinging out of our shoes. Jesus Christ.
No balls, 2 strikes.
All right, Brendan Rodgers looking not great. Let's just say it. Okay. Vision, not great right now. Let's just say how it is. We're not really seeing balls and strikes very well right now.
Ball. 1-1.
Got to lock in. Bald head cam. I mean, good timing? Good timing. Fastball, middle of the plate. Nothing. How are we so late on 92? I don't get it.
Ball out.
We're early as all hell on 95, and then 92 we're just super late. It's got to be, oh my God, Bean! It's high! It's deep, it's gone! Zach Bean extends the lead to 1. We'll take it. Daza ruins everything. Oh, man. This game's so ridiculous sometimes.
leading off for the Cubs,
Hell,
the catcher.
we'll take it.
Carson Kelly.
We'll take it. Alex Taylor. Oh, man, we didn't even look at the bullpen. All right, let's make the switch to Lucas Sims. And then we will warm up.
Please. Now pitching for the Rockies. Number 39, Lucas.
Let's warm up Clevenger. Let's warm up Strom. He's a little low on gas, Matt Strom, but he's pretty efficient with his pitches. So even if he's not like full stamina, I still trust him. And McMahon is so good. It's so funny because the reason why he has to make these diving catches is because he's so damn slow. He only has like 30 speed. So if he were any faster, he just wouldn't have to dive. But it just makes his plays look that much better. because he is so slow, and I just find that to be
1-1.
really comical, if I'm honest about it.
2-1. Two.
Petey? PCA just swinging out of his shoes. And pops up this one. Rogers can't hit a baseball, but he can catch one. That's the end of the 8th. We're going to have one more. No, that's the mid-8th. Sorry, not the end. So we get 2 more chances. No. This is our last chance to extend the lead unless Chicago ties. I was having a big sports brain fart there for a second. Ivy! PCA! Diving catch out in center. Let's take another look. He's got range. He's got speed. Flashing the leather. Making a diving catch. All right. Jorge, what do you say you just pummel one?
Ball.
I think that's the first pitch that he's seen in his 3 at-bats that he hasn't swung at. Sir! If it's fair, it's gone! It's gone! I'm blinded! It's the Solar Power! 414 feet to left.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for Chicago.
Ah!
Mark Leiter.
Cubby's luck is running out. Oh, man. Coming up clutch is Soler. Looked like it might be foul. Just stayed fair. We're up by 2 late in this game. In the bottom of the 8th. McMahon on 0 for 3. He's got the contact skills versus righties. Just
Full count.
been a little unlucky.
Three.
Third baseman number 2.
That's tough.
Luis
I
Garcia.
don't blame him for taking that. There's a really good chance that if you threw that in the exact spot 100 times, you probably get 50 balls and 50 strikes.
0-2. Ball.
It is what it is. And I think Garcia is going to end the inning. Fly out down the third base line. All right. We have a slim 2-run lead. Top of the 9th. It's time for Strom. I didn't
Ladies and
even...
gentlemen, your attention, please.
Yeah. Lefty's actually the way to go anyway.
For the Rockies, number 25, Matt Straw.
Back one.
We got a nice lefty-lefty matchup versus Yoshida to start us off. Good D by Garcia. Good throw. 1 out, 1 down.
Number 16, Patrick Wisdom.
Strike. It's 0-1.
Ivy! Oh, Ivy. My brother in Christ, I need you to grab that one. Verdugo, I need you to have legs that move faster than a toddler. We give up a triple. That's not really on Strom. That's poor reaction time from Ivy. And that's Verdugo just being slow as all hell. But regardless, It's a triple nonetheless. But down goes Ian Happ, bamboozled, flabbergasted by the inside fastball from Matt Strom. Down to the last strike.
Ball outside.
Finish him. Down he goes. Inside fastball. Strom slams the door after giving up the leadoff triple. And a game that was 1-1 heading into the 8th. 7th? 8th? Against a shockingly good Chicago Cubs team. We managed to just eke out a win. We got really lucky. Cubs defense shit the bed. Thank you, Mr. Banks. I appreciate you. That was a great save from Strom. But if we don't have those 2 errors from the Cubs defense and a couple mishandled, like not errors, they just weren't able to glove it cleanly and not get a throw off in time, we probably lose that game. Zach Bean, the young stud, is player of the game. He goes 2 for 3 with a homer. We had a really good pitching. Senzatella goes 6 innings, only allows 1 earned. Taylor, Sims, and then Strom come in and shut down the back end. Yeah, it was 1-1 heading into the 6th. We get 2 solo shots, 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. And that was the ball game. I gotta see this though. Where's the good timing? We had 16 good timing swings. We had 2 hits. We had just as many misses on good timing swings as we did hits. 16 total good timing swings, 9 were outs. 2 of them we completely whiffed. That's tough. One of them resulted in a double play. You hate to see it. When we were early 18 times, got 5 hits, and we had only 7 late swings, no hits, just 5 fouls. So it looks like you need to be early. Okay. I also always like looking at that because especially not using PCI hitting, only using timing-based hitting. It's like you would think that you would be rewarded for good timing, but often you are not. But I guess that's baseball, right? All right, so we played our 2 games. We won both of them, and we've actually had a surprisingly good month. Looking at teams like Atlanta, the Dodgers, Cleveland, and the Cubs, they all have really good positive winning records. I was surprised we did as well as we did, but I mean, that's obviously a good sign. This is not a good sign. Luis Garcia, why game? Dislocated ankle. He's going to be out for over 6 months. That sucks. He'll go to the 60 day. Luckily, Harold Castro is going to come back. He's still injured, but he's still out for another 1 to 2 weeks. Let's go ahead and activate him. And the Orioles are interested in a trade. I knew Nolan Jones. Yeah, that was a big damn. He's been really good for us. So Nolan Jones, our very disappointing outfielder. We put him on the trade block. We immediately get an offer. And they want to give us a third baseman, the Orioles do, Nicky Lopez. Now, this actually is very impactful because we just lost Luis who plays second, third, and short. He had a lot more power, but Nicky Lopez, defense is really good. He's much older at 31, but plays second, third, short. The problem is he doesn't know how to hit a baseball, at least as far as we can tell. 2 years ago, he hit 272 on 151 attempts. Last year, in 131 at bats, he hit 221. And so far this year, do it for low players. Good discipline. Yeah, I mean, his on base is okay at 310, but his average stinks. He's cheap, but the problem is his ceiling is really low. He's already 31. He's probably going to regress soon. Did he ever have any good years? He had one good year where he hit 300, and that was back in 2021 with KC. He hit 300. On the flip side, we have Nolan Jones, who is hitting 216, so he's even worse. He's had 2 good years and 2 bad years and 1 okay year. He's regressing like crazy. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Banks? Would you take this trade? Would you trade? Would you take this one? It looks like we have some room. There's like just a little bit of wiggle room up there. So if we wanted to manually do this trade, we might be able to maybe go out and get like this guy instead, who is raking in Double A. Not as good defensively, but younger, great contact skills. We could finagle a trade like that. Or we could look for like Ramon Urias, who's the same age, but hits the ball way better. Hmm. Okay. What about this David Sandoval kid? Plays short and second. He's also raking. All right. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust you, Banks. I'm going to decline the trade because we do also have Luis or Martin Ortiz, right? We drafted him. He's doing okay in AAA, but he's got decent enough hitting skills. His defense isn't great. Trade for a power first hitter. Okay. So you're saying I need to look for a good prospect that's power first. Okay. Let's go for a player search. We're looking for I wish you could just select multiple positions, but you can't. So let's just go any position and I'll just sort later. We need someone young, probably it's like 24 or younger. Someone with, let's say, like B potential or higher. So let's go like okay. So we're looking for someone that's at least a B potential or higher. Someone that has, let's see, for a prospect, like what, 60 power? 60 power would be a lot. We'll see if we get any hits. And we'll say 60 power versus righties. Okay. Okay. So we got a number of guys here. Problem is, could we actually trade for any of them? I mean, two of them are ours. Romeo Ivy is ours, and Kazuhito Imasa, he's down in single A right now, I think. But we need like a third, second short. Either of these guys look kind of good. Both young, both with A potential. Johnson can play second and short. Stewart plays third. Up at the top, we got Gunnar Henderson. There's no shot that I can trade for him. Francisco Alvarez, I don't need it. I mean, a catcher would be nice, but the contact skills suck. And I don't think I can trade for him. I also don't necessarily need one. I also don't need an outfielder. And he's going to be a free agent next year. So it would probably be like Anthony Volpe, Nolan Chanel, or Tamar Johnson. Chanel plays first and outfield. All right, let's see if we can get a trade. It's going to take a lot. So Nolan Jones doesn't really get us close. What about a prospect of our own? No, that doesn't really do much either. Oh, they're also under budget. So I don't think we can make this trade. All right, so we want Nolan Jones, suggest a trade. We're looking for, I mean, really all, I guess. All right, that's ass. That's ass. Yeah. The problem is everyone that we're paying is actually playing well. This looks interesting with the White Sox. Starting pitcher and a second baseman. So that's Acuna and Garcia on the White Sox. And second, and Garcia. So they want to offer us this, and it's not bad, but I need someone who can start. If I switch Garcia, you think that's a good trade? Yeah, I mean, he's not very good. I don't really need maybe like this guy down here. He could be something. So we take off Garcia and maybe go for Sierra. No, they won't go. These younger guys. Oh, Robbie Lucas, 18-year-old, has a long way to go, but they'd take that deal. Oh, trade him for another hitter. So maybe another outfielder. I wish I could just trade him straight up for this, but there's no shot. They don't really have any good outfielders, though, unfortunately. Benintendi? He's not hit great, though. Slug is really low. They just don't have a lot to really offer. Bob Hand looks pretty nice, but we just don't. I don't need another first baseman, and he's too slow to play outfield. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass up on this for now. I'll wait and see what else we get, but I mean the roster's full now. We'll get back. We'll get back Castro in a couple weeks, and he can play the entire infield. Defensively, he's not great, but he hits close to 300 or better like every single year. So I'm okay with that. We'll just have to rely on Castro. That's about the best I got. I just don't think we're gonna get an 86 plus hitter, if I'm honest with you. Like maybe straight up for like if I can find like some D potential guy that can hit the ball really well. Like maybe they swap that for Nolan Jones. Or like maybe like an old DH, but I already have Soler to DH, so I just don't really need it. All right, let's finish out this month. All right, so Rogers comes back in to play third. Okay. Lineups are set. All right, so we take 2 out of 3 against Chicago, who is 35 and 20. That is pretty good. We'll start this series versus the Yankees to round out the month. We win 2 of 3. So all in all, that's a really good month of May considering what we were up against. Start Jones to boost his offseason trade. Unfortunately, I did sim through a scouting day, so that sucks. Whoops a daisy on my part. Yeah. The problem is if I start Jones, he sucks at hitting the baseball. He's only hitting 216. Like maybe he comes out of it, but if he doesn't, like he just drags our team down. So I I can't really. I don't think I can justify starting him when he's hitting 216. Especially when everyone else is hitting so well. You know what I mean? All right. Fortunately, missed the scouting day, but that was a great month of May. We are tied for first in the division. We've won 8 out of our last 10. The lineup is looking pretty solid. Got a couple guys that are slumping a little bit. The rotation looking pretty good. Senzatella fell off a little bit. Mize fell off a little bit. But overall, I think we're in a pretty good spot, especially because our middle relief and the back end of our bullpen is elite. Not a single person above a 2, one person above a 2 ERA. All right, that's going to be it for me, though, today. Andrew Banks, thank you so much for joining the stream. Thank you for your input. We'll definitely move Jones. I just don't know what for. I'm sure we'll get an offer that we like, but really tough break on Luis Garcia getting injured, out for 6+ months. Because he was doing okay, hitting 265, slugging 408. I mean, not elite, but he was doing well. He was doing well. But that will be it for this one. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate your time. And I'll see you guys in the next one.